Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube. We'd love it if you'd come hang out and join us. Just search for @Tom and Dan Live. That's basically all of our social media. Every night we get a 4K replay on YouTube if you like watching the podcast and you're a podcast guy, so you can do it later, you know what I mean, on demand.
Yep.
We have 4K, man, on the YouTube. Our good friend SJ has been making us look really, really pretty. We put a lot of time and effort into the cameras here in the studio, so hang out with us over on YouTube and Twitch @Tom and Dan Live.
Yeah, it does help us if you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Obviously 2025, build that up a little bit.
Yeah, you would think.
Should
have put more heat on that earlier, right?
Well, not necessarily. I like
so many things. You got to stoke so many little digital fires.
I always take it that we're audio first. More people can consume audio only than any other media form.
In fact, it's a fallacy that a lot of younger podcasters that start out think that they need a video component. You do not. In fact, I would say start audio because more people consume audio than they do video. Video, you have to be engaged.
Yeah, you could.
We don't have to be, but like for the most part, you want to be.
Driving, walking your dog, exercising, it's just audio only anyway.
Yeah.
So over the weekend, obviously it made headlines all over social media.
I thought it
the
was
amount
a joke.
of videos.
It does sound like a joke, right? Headline: Mexican Navy hits Brooklyn Bridge, right? Sounds like a joke. Sounds like a racist joke.
And this one in particular is crazy because the amount of footage online is there are
endless
angles from every direction, obviously, because
you know what we don't have, which I thought we might? Mexican sailor falling off like his camp from his view. No, I'm just saying. No, not the ones that died. Obviously, I'm saying two people died. It's serious. Well, I'm saying they do this ceremony going into port, going and leaving.
Leaving,
No, both.
Oh, both.
Yeah,
okay.
Coming and going. They line the masts with the sailors and coming and going. And so I would imagine at some point one of those sailors has whipped out his iPhone and caught some footage of it, right?
What they may not be able to have their iPhone in their I don't know, but you're right.
But this is like a very beautiful ceremonial boat, right? And they're doing I think it's circumvented the globe 4 different times successfully.
It was heading to Iceland, and I guess it lost power and drifted into the Brooklyn Bridge. 2 people died. There's other 2 people in critical.
I've seen some pretty
condition.
Horrible video that I wish were not allowed on. It's tough to open I'm eating an English muffin. And you open TikTok and then you just see people dying.
Well, because there's thousands of people around and this ship is drifting and then people are just filming it. So there's graphic video.
The weirdest one to me, and it's probably the most famous one, is it's kind of like a bro. It's like 2 bros. Yeah. And you can hear the guy go it's crashing. Oh man, it's crashing, which is a completely human response because you don't know what's happening here. But now he is forever on film laughing as sailors fall to their death. You see what I'm saying? It's a very weird time to be alive.
So I text the gentleman that we had on a Weird Job Wednesday, Clark, the tugboatman, and
we've had this guy on more times. This guy is he's our official tugboat man.
Yeah, it just so happened that part of the story was they were saying that there should have been tugboats. New
York City is claiming that Mexico. Obviously, it's their navy.
Yeah,
would have been on the hook for paying for a tugboat, and you can see a tugboat in some of the actual photos. But it's chasing the boat. It's trying to get there. It wasn't controlling the boat.
Yeah,
and it probably should have been controlling the boat through.
So BDM Clark, our official tugboat correspondent, is on the line. How you doing, Clark?
Doing good, guys. How you guys doing?
So, Clark,
I could hear you breathing, and I potted you up, and then you were doing some weird breathing. I had to pot you back down. What do you got? You got an upper respiratory? What are you dealing with?
He was riding a tractor earlier, and you had to take a break.
Doing some farming out here.
Okay, all right. It's a real man. Real men do real men things.
So, Clark, did you see the story?
Yeah, I checked it out a little bit. It looks like they got an 1,800 horsepower diesel, and I don't know if it was retrofitted or what it was built with, but they got that thing hanging out on it, and I guess they lost power to it. So what you guys were talking about with the tugboats, normally for a sailboat or a larger vessel like that, we're going to be either pulling them or pushing them in or out. But it seemed like they were already underway. So that tugboat that was trailing it would be like the emergency boat coming for it.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So, Clark, I would imagine that if you have a boat that's taller than a bridge that's nearby or
that's a rule. I just wouldn't get near bridges because you could drift into it. No, I'm being dead serious. As a captain, Captain Dan says, hey, our mast is taller than this bridge, so we're just never going to get anywhere near it because we could drift into it and break our boat all to pieces.
Well,
we can never go that way.
Especially if the current and the wind is going that direction, which I'm sure they plan for. And Clark, do you know, like, normally in these situations, is there a mandatory tugboat, basically assigned to a vessel, and in case of, loss of power or whatever, there's some sort of protocol where the tugboat can latch onto it and pull it away from the bridge? Or like, how does that work?
All right, so where he's at, technically, I don't know the exact ruling for his type of vessel, but he would be able to traverse that waterway because it's not actually in a port. I mean, yes, there are docks up and down the side and stuff like that, but it's technically not part of the port, so he would have to get himself certified. He'd be talking to the tower guy that's controlling the bridge or on the bridge, and they would know all about this shit. Stuff. God.
You're fine.
Fine. You're a real man, Clark.
Now that you're part of our show, you're part of the show. Look, I'm going to give you your employee handbook in a couple of weeks, and it's got a couple of paragraphs in there about words on the show.
So
sorry.
I'm not into over preparing for safety, obviously.
So you're calling yourself Mexican Navy Tom, is what you call yourself.
Well, but it would make sense to me, especially with so many people on board, with the obviously the instance where that other ship drifted into a bridge that actually caused the bridge to collapse.
That ship also lost power.
Yeah, and you would think,
and planes are losing power. What's up with everything losing power?
Well, during the ceremony, obviously there's Mexican Navy that are standing on these masts, in multiple levels, and then you would think that someone would be like, all right, well, all these people are vulnerable standing on these masts that are taller than this bridge.
So we should never get it close to the bridge. That goes back to what I was saying.
Or have some emergency, if we do lose power, we can't have this thing drifting towards this bridge with a lot of humanity or sailors standing on the mast, because that could cause deaths. So how could there be no backup plan?
But it's not as impressive if you leave port with everybody inside the boat.
No, but even then,
right?
Have some sort of tugboat in front of the boat.
I don't understand why it was. I don't understand why with a mast very, very tall. Nobody's just said this. See, I'm a very simple boy. It's taller than the bridge. So why was it even there?
Well, it's taller. It's taller than the part of the bridge that it hit. It would have probably made it clear under the bridge where it was supposed to go under.
Too tight. We can never go that way. I'm back to see. You see what I'm saying? I'm a cautious captain. Too tight. What, do we got a couple inches there?
Well,
as we're going under? That's too tight.
But isn't there, backup plans for loss of power? I know there's backup plans
Most ships, you're going to have a second engine. I've got two engines, so one goes down, I can still limp my way around, but that boat was built in the 80s, and it only has one motor. So the best thing they could have done, which I still don't understand why they didn't, they could have just dropped anchor as soon as they found out mechanical failure.
Oh, so as soon as no power, boom, we're in this channel area. We could drift to the bridge, drop anchor. We got to drop anchor, and then all you guys get off the rafters. You got to get off the mast because we're done. Yeah, okay.
If you're drifting like that, dropping anchor would stop that boat, right?
Oh yeah, I don't know if you saw it. I mean, it's a ceremonial boat, but it is an actual functioning boat. But I don't know why the hell they're driving the damn thing around.
Well, that's a different,
it's easy for you to say.
You're promoting
I've
the
seen
Navy.
your boat, not that cool. This is a cool boat.
So Clark, let me ask you, there was a tugboat that was seen in the video on the side, seemingly trying to get in front of the boat. could there be anything the tugboat could have done if it got in front of the boat earlier? Would it just block it and then like push it the other direction, or how does that work?
Yeah, well, just like we talked about last time, the last sailboat that hit me broke in half. But yes, you could get in front of it and use our big giant tires to push it in a way. But I mean, I think this is still like a 300 or something foot boat. So it would just be a matter of once you do push the front end away, the back end's going to start coming. So how could you get to it? You could definitely slow it down, but it's kind of like balancing it.
You kind of just spin it, right?
Yeah.
Like you hit the front, then it starts spinning. Well, I mean, maybe it gives the guys on the mast time to get down. I don't know.
And can they throw ropes to you and you hook up? Yeah, okay.
But this is also it's a ceremony ship, and these people are doing some sort of ceremony. I'm not sure how Navy ready this Mexican Army is.
I'll cut that out.
Yeah.
I'll cut that out for you. The optics on that, it just doesn't sound good, right? It just doesn't sound.
Well,
that's what I said to Tom this morning. I was like, "Do you hear about the Mexican Navy? It sounds terrible when you say it."
I traded pornos, soccer balls, and beer for catching tuna fish off of Mexican Navy Island.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, that's right. You are officially part of the Mexican Navy. That's right. I forgot about that.
Well, it seems like so terrifying that the crew was standing on the mast and they knew they were heading towards the bridge. I'm sure they knew they were out of power, and then they were still up there. You seem like you could get down quickly, but maybe not.
It goes back to what the cautious Captain Dan. Look,
you couldn't rappel down.
It's too tight here. We're not doing the ceremony, or we'll just do the lower half. Just on the first 6 feet, you can just go up there, but we're not going all the way to the top.
Because essentially, if those people weren't up there didn't have to be deaths. It would just knock off the top 3 masts, and
I've seen
they
it
would
happen
crash.
at St. Augustine at the Bridge of Lions all the time.
And it would be obviously a huge problem. Obviously, they broke the ship, and then apparently the bridge wasn't damaged at all.
Yeah, the bridge is fine.
But the people, no one had to die, and it's like and then again. The video from every direction is crazy because that's the world we live in. That there's this happens with. I mean, there's hundreds of videos of it,
and they're hard to watch with the reactions because people don't know what to do. There's one of a lady in a high rise, and she's like, "Look at this. This can't be right." Oh, and then she's like laughing. She's like, "Oh my, this is not good." You go through these weird. Like you're like real-time videoing yourself reacting to something, and it may or may not be a good look.
I wonder if people are going to be trained to be cognizant of the audio in their video when they're video tragedies.
I've been watching someone get murdered. I'm just quiet.
Yeah. Or you start commentating like a news person.
Like you're being stabbed, and I'm just videoing it. I was like, I don't want to get stabbed.
Well, Clark, I mean, you think something like this is going to cause like some sort of regulation in New York where it's like every boat has got to be escorted by a tugboat?
Well, that's dumb. Here's the regulation. No more ceremonies in the channel. We're good. If we do no more ceremonies, we're good. It's dumb. It's not. It'll be a knee-jerk reaction. So now every boat has to pay for a tugboat? They shouldn't have to. The only problem with this is that the people were on the mast. If those people weren't on the mast, you just said it. It just smashes the boat. Big deal. We fixed the boat. We can't fix people.
Yeah.
It's dumb. It's just it was a dumb thing to do. It was dangerous.
Yeah, but I guess I've probably been doing it for 100 years or whatever. Yeah, but
they said they've circumvented
parties.
They said they circumvented the globe 4 different times in and out of ports, actively doing the ceremony. So.
Hey, Clark, how much is a tugboat escort? Do you even know what the Mexican Navy would pay?
Fat as hell. Tugboat escorts are big fat ladies, right?
they're the ones you can't fit through the ship.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I like them big.
But no, a tugboat. So for me, like when I'm pulling on a cruise ship, getting it in and out of the port is somewhere around $3,000.
Okay, it's not that much. You know what I'm saying? I thought it would be way more if they were going to. Deny the extra precaution of a tugboat
Maybe
escort.
they didn't know. I don't know how many times they've been to this port.
You're right. Yeah. They could have done this hundreds of times.
Yeah, who knows?
One of the things you were asking, Tom, was, is it going to change anything? Yeah, absolutely. Regulations are going to go crazy up there, and you're going to have to get tendered on anything under X amount of size. We'll change some rules.
Yeah. And usually these things, like any sort of disaster, always changes the way things are done.
Hey, solidifying your job, buddy. You could just put another feather in your cap.
Yeah, one of the cool things you said, so that tugboat that got there, I'm assuming was one of just a backup or on-call tug. So I've done trips out through and sitting in ports and stuff like that. And they'll put you on call. And so if anything comes in or out that needs a tug, they'll call you up. But if like there's an emergency situation, like, I don't know, 7 years ago or so, a cruise ship line broke, and then our tug ended up going down, so we had to call in another backup tug, and you always have one on call. So.
And how many tugboats do you think are in, like, the New York marina at any given time?
The cargo port, you're probably looking at 20, maybe 25 in rotation.
That's a lot of tuggers.
Yeah. God damn.
Yeah, that's a lot of tugboats.
All right.
You need two per container ship just to move it around and get it parked.
Well, hey, man, thank you so much for the time, and we always appreciate you taking the call and teaching us a little bit more about ships and tugboating.
What are you doing on your tractor this morning, Clark?
Mowing 23 acres.
All right.
Yeah.
And
it's
then,
like a grass tugboat.
Do you listen to a podcast while you do that, or just real man silent?
Sometimes I listen to a podcast, but most of the time I'm just listening and paying attention to the motor.
And which podcast is rocking your tractor balls?
Tom and Dan.
Yeah, that's the sound bite. Print that.
All right, Clark. We'll talk to you soon.
See you, buddy.
All right, thanks. I'm gonna go.
I did it. Hung up on him. Yeah, it's sad.
It's crazy.
20-year-old and a 23-year-old died doing that. I mean, they probably didn't have to be standing up there, right?
So, you did something. It makes me awkward every time you do it, but you.
Do you like it or not like it?
I think you're
support
bettering
it?
the earth.
Thank you.
And you are.
Thank you. It's one of the greatest
doing
things
the Lord's work.
It's one of the greatest, maybe the greatest thing I do. It might be the only good thing I do.
And that's shaming litterers.
Yeah, I shame people that litter. And there were some teens yesterday. I had stopped by Publix Liquors for a tall boy.
Okay, all right.
And
it's a weird place to go for a tall boy.
Oh, they got a special right now. It's like a 2 for $5. It's fantastic. The big ones too. The ones you can kill somebody with.
What a homeless man would like, right?
What a homeless man would like. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the look that I'm sort of going for lately is very much like a bit of a small homeless man.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm coming out of the Publix Liquors, and I don't know if other little cities, Castleberry, I'm in Baldwin, Orlando, Winter Garden, Winter Haven, Maitland. I don't know if they have little packs of electric bike gangs, but Baldwin has we have a bunch of these snotty-ass rich kids on their Ciron electric dirt bikes.
Yeah. The Castleberry, not so much. They're still running regular powered bikes.
I like that. Say, I support that. I love a good foot-powered bike. So these little chunky kids on their little Ciron, and they're all chunky because the electric bike is making your kids fat. I'll say it. If you bought your kid an electric bike and the kid's husky, they're going to stay husky. Because guess what's better than a regular bike? Hitting the juice on the electric bike, and you're gonna stay husky. If you bought your son,
I hate doing work,
and you can see it. So all these little huskies are out here riding their electric bikes all around, and they have their little gang, and then they have it's funny because you can see them kind of doing tricks and stuff to try and impress the girls, and then there's a pack of little girls that are sitting on a little circle. So I'm coming out of Publix Liquors. And these kids are doing little Ciron tricks and stuff, cutting off cars. Cars are honking. It's a mess.
Now, you're coming out of Publix Liquors with a giant tall boy in a brown bag.
A giant Coors Light, a C- tall boy in a brown bag.
Yeah.
And I roll the top of the brown bag down just a little bit so you can see the top of it.
Yeah. A big white beard.
Big white beard. And I have on my Florida hat, it's a black trucker hat that has scrambled eggs on the front of it like a grandpa, and then it just has the letters F and L on the top of it. It looks a little biker.
Yeah.
It does look a little biker. And then I've got on I'm just dressed sloppy. I'm just dressed sloppy. And so I'm coming out, and I got my tall boy, and they're doing their tricks and everything, and I notice that they've got a bag of Doritos, and they open the bag of Doritos, and then they just start throwing the Doritos everywhere. Like, I don't know why they're doing this. And then the one kid with the sear on is jumping the bag of Doritos with his bike and then putting his back tire on it and peeling out. So pieces of Dorito bag paper are just being torn and thrown everywhere.
Okay, all right. So the bag too.
The bag is being shredded by the power of this electric wheel. Right. You know, like it's got so much torque, Tom. I don't know if you've driven one of these Searons, but they're modern marvels.
Okay, before we move forward.
Yeah, please ask me any questions.
Let me ask you your opinion on throwing away food trash. Like
I'm a little different on food trash.
Like banana peel, chips, anything biodegradable or like animals could eat.
There's a lot of squirrels around here. Like chips, I'm actually decent with. I'm okay. Okay.
Although it does seem
it's trashy.
Rude
it's trashy.
And trashy.
People are walking here. People have to like walk through this. They don't want to walk through Dorito dust and get it all over their shoes. Yes.
And then
you do have a point.
And then my wife's always yelled at me because I'll throw food trash out my car window like a banana peel, right?
Yeah.
And I'll try to throw it into the woods or like far into the grass.
I put it dead center of the highway.
But Crystal, she's like, don't do that. It attracts the animals and they get hit by cars.
I'm trying to attract bears for Ted Nugent. He told me, he's like, put the banana peels directly in the middle of the road.
Anyway, so they're burning out their Doritos.
Yeah, and it's just Doritos. It's like
that's pretty awesome.
It looks fun. It does look fun. You know, there's a part of me that looks at that. A young Dan would have looked at that. But when I saw them doing the peel out on the Doritos, and the Doritos are going everywhere, and it's really just making the sidewalk like a 4-foot patch of sidewalk literally unwalkable.
Yeah.
Unless you want to get covered in Doritos. And I don't know why I said this, but I'm coming out with my tall boy, and I look at them, and I go, what the hell are you doing? That's exactly what I said.
Yes.
Yeah. Here, I'll do it again. I go, what the hell are you doing? Like that. It was really loud. It was very aggressive. It was made. It was a reaction.
They deserve that. Yeah.
And I kid you not, all of them, the girls, all the boys. I called him. I was talking to Tracy a little bit about him. I called him Kid Cudi and Jack Harlow. And they turned to me, and I go, what the hell are you doing? And then the one kid goes, we'll pick it up, sir. Dude, it was a level of respect. It was a level of respect that I don't get in my house. I don't get from my wife. I don't get it from my daughter. I've never gotten it from you. I've never gotten it from anyone. The Lord, the Savior, Jesus Christ never gave it to me. My mom and dad's love
he cursed
never. You. He did. And then we'll pick it up, sir. And you know what I said? I doubled down. Because I grabbed the Dorito bag, the biggest part of it. And I go, you've proven to me that I can't trust you.
You shamed him more.
Yeah. I doubled down on the shame. And they went back, those two kids, Kid Cudi and Jack Harlow, because that's kind of what they look like. They, with their little Baldwin Park hands, scooped up those Doritos and put them in the trash, and they picked up every single piece of that Dorito bag. Every single piece.
That's good.
And I was so filled with I was like, you know what?
Power, respect.
But we're going to be okay. I was like, they made a mistake.
Yeah, but if little homeless Danny wasn't there to yell at them, because I
scared him bad. Is it the beard? Is it the hat? What is it? I've never been treated like this before. The hair. See, my hair's getting longer in the back, so I got like this little homeless man thing going.
The tall boy in the brown bag.
It all plays. The limp. What about the limp?
Yeah, the limp.
War veteran. Like it's stolen valor at this point. Those kids don't know I never fought for nothing. I've never fought in my life.
You need camo pants.
I do need camo pants. Is that stolen valor if I do camo pants?
No, you're just wearing camo pants.
No. I'm not going to do camo pants. I'm going to do the green, like real army pants. I'm going to get the real ones.
Yeah, like Vietnam.
Yeah, I'm going to get Vietnam pants.
Yeah. That's not stolen valor.
Yeah.
You're just wearing like Vietnam pants.
I'm not going to wear any medals or anything. That's crazy. I'm not going to disrespect my brothers in arms.
These are
I'm just giving an essence of crazy.
Yeah, Vietnam pants and a POW shirt.
That's
it. You're not stolen valor.
No, I'm supporting the POWs.
Yeah. And
I'm supporting them.
Tall boy with the brown bag.
With the brown bag. Yeah, they were so scared.
Yeah. Now, because I grew up in a time where riding your dirt bike on the street was a crime, and I was afraid to do that. In fact, my brother got a ticket in Deltona that he ended up getting a warrant out for his arrest.
I hate saying this because this is so not cool. These kids are going to get hurt. See, that's such a not cool thing to say,
cool,
right?
Yeah.
It's such a stupid thing. No, but
I don't care. I like.
They're going to get hurt. No, they're cutting off cars in a parking lot on a bike that'll do 110 miles an hour.
I like the Surrot electric bikes. My buddy Turkey Leg rides them around Miami.
Great. I love
lawless.
Them. They're just dangerous, dude.
Hey, that's fine. I mean, and then that's up to the kids and their parents. That's up to them. I don't care. But what I'm saying is, aren't these kids worried that the cops are going to give them a ticket?
No cops around here.
There is cops around here.
No.
There are cops.
Yeah, but they let the white kids just run wild. They let them run wild. Yeah, we have wild, rich white kids that run wild through the streets of Baldwin. I hate them.
And is it because
they're so annoying? Go up here every afternoon at 3:15 and see how annoyed you are.
So my brother was white, and he was riding around Deltona on his dirt bike.
Did he go to jail?
And he got a warrant out for his arrest later, but he definitely got a ticket for riding his dirt bike. Now, it was a 4-stroke 240 Honda, loud dirt
They're going to
bike.
find you, yeah.
So is it just the electric component of it that keeps the cops from giving because it's the same exact thing. It's not a street legal. It's an off-road vehicle.
It goes faster. I would argue that it's more dangerous, dude. It's so quick.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, is it quick as a dirt bike? But is the difference the electric versus a 4-stroke dirt bike? You know what I'm saying? Like how loud it is.
Yes.
Because
you can't sit there and have the thing running. They're just sitting there on the bike, and whenever they just want to gas it, they'll just do a trick and then come back and sit with their friends.
Yeah.
You can't hear. You couldn't just sit. You're just gonna have that thing running the whole time.
No, yeah, I know.
You couldn't do it.
If you had a regular dirt bike that was combustion, you would get people calling.
You'd hear it from blocks away.
Well, they'd call the cops if there was teens riding regular dirt bikes. But the electric,
and the profile. I think we've talked about this many times. But one of the things we don't talk about is the size, the profile of the bike.
They're smaller.
They are, but they're
like a bicycle kind of.
They kind of emulate like e-bikes, and I don't think cops or even parents know the difference.
Ciron
though is a legitimate motorcycle.
It's a dirt bike.
It's a motorcycle.
It's an electric dirt bike that is. I guess you could put in the category of enduro, can go off road and on road,
hill climbing, right?
But like I did see some TikTok video of cops like they're cracking down on kids doing tricks because essentially now. Like the 12 o'clock boys where that documentary in Baltimore where basically people will just drive 4-wheelers and dirt bikes and do wheelies on the street.
Yeah.
And in certain cities they've outlawed chasing them because it ends up being more dangerous. But then that it caused essentially anarchy, and there's just gangs of a lot of them are kids, or younger teens, doing wheelies on dirt bikes.
It's hard to do what you got to do when you're fighting an army of kids. You know what I mean?
In Miami, this happens a lot. I even saw this a little bit in Orlando.
We've had them roll through here. No, from Tampa. They'll come down from Tampa and roll through.
So, and a lot of them are turning to electric bikes because first, it's they're silent. Which I'm sure, but
they're just pull it into anywhere, turn it off, and hide.
You could do wheelies and do the same tricks as you do on a dirt bike, but I guess the video I saw was a cop literally like grabbing some teen off his electric dirt bike after doing a wheelie.
Yeah,
they're stop. I guess
this is becoming a thing. Our buddy Tizzy, that he kind of does he finds people on the internet that are doing bad things.
Yeah.
There's a guy, I want to say Miami. There's some teens doing the same thing I'm talking about on the Cirons, and then he'd had enough, so he got out of his car and started beating them all up, beating all the teens up, which you can't do.
Why are you beating them up? I don't understand why.
Anger got him, he's so mad. And Christine
blocking traffic.
Christine said it in the chat room. She said, "We have a roving group of bike kids who play chicken with cars in the neighborhood, and intrusive thoughts will win one day, and I will hit them." Yes, we all know it is a cliche. All of our neighborhoods have these little gangs of bike punks, and they like to screw around, and we all did it. I did it. But it's you cannot beat them up. You can't hit them. You can't.
Well, why are you even thinking about that? You're like, I want to kill this team for having fun.
But you also want the parents to know that those kids probably should not be doing that, right? There's a balance of that.
That's the most dangerous thing I could possibly think of is riding around the streets
on a motorcycle.
On an electric bike, effing around.
Now they did have on
Like,
helmets.
if
Both these kids I was like talking to, they had on helmets. So, and they're good ones. They had full face. They had the like dirt bike helmets.
Yeah,
but it's a dirt bike.
No,
So it really has
for
no
sure.
business in a parking lot of a Publix because you're going to end up popping a wheelie and
Yeah.
hitting some grandma, and then your whole family's going to get sued.
Well, that's what I'm so surprised. Like, even with Turkey Lake, my buddy that rides around Miami, I'm like, aren't you worried? Every time that when he brought him up to Satellite.
He's a different breed.
But
He fast and loose.
But when I was riding him around Satellite Beach, like, I was constantly looking for cops, expecting one to pull me over and be like, hey, what are you doing, old man? Like, you can't drive this on the street.
Yeah.
And then it never happened.
Yeah.
And then so I'm like, this was a dirt bike, and back in the 90s, like, I rode dirt bikes on the street
Oh, I know you
in
did.
Miami and in Orlando. And like, I knew if a cop saw me, for sure a ticket, maybe even impound my dirt bike. Like, they'll impound your bike to, like, if they get you. And so, like, and that was 100% in my mind. If a cop sees me riding my dirt bike on the street, I am going to get stopped. There's no way they're just going to be like, oh, let's let them have fun. But it doesn't happen with the electric bikes. And it has to only be the fact that they're electric.
We probably will.
It's the same thing.
We probably will see something change soon.
Yeah. Which sucks. Right now, I guess they should enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, I would. I mean, because like
It will change.
honestly, but I mean, if you were anywhere but here, right? Like, to me, like, I'm not anti-fun. But I do see the problem here. Like, that's going to end up being a problem.
You're in the Publix parking lot.
Too many cars. There's too many cars. You need to, even if you're just riding it around the streets of Orlando, I would still say, just wear a helmet, but it's still super dangerous.
But also, you're doing a wheelie. I know wheelies, and you can get out of control, and then or whiskey throttle it by accident, and then it could
slam on the back of your head.
Well, there's people, grandmas going at, like, getting groceries at Publix, like you whip
There's
that
grandpas coming out of Publix Liquors with their tall boys, sir. There's grandpa, little grandpa.
If you wheelied into Daniel, he'll never be the same.
Well,
he'll never walk again.
This kid's could have killed me. What if I'd slipped on those Doritos? But anyway, to get back to this new look that I'm kind of going through,
more respect,
and I'm continuing it. So and people have asked, like, oh, what are you doing, or why? Like, I am not cutting my hair, facial and head. I'm still bicking my pubes. But everything else is it's growing. I'm taking it all the way to 2026.
Oh, the whole year?
Yeah, I'm doing it the whole year.
All right.
I'm doing the whole year just to see if I can, because I haven't done it, and we have a job where I can do that.
Yeah,
so I should take advantage of that, right? Kind of like the Cirons, like take advantage of it.
The more crazy you look, the better for the show.
That's what you said. And I'm already
people are like, what's happening?
I'm already getting better respect from it. Look at how people are treating me. Don't dress like the audience. Dress like the person on the stage, right? Or dress like the homeless.
A bum. Anyway, we've got some bunch of Fringe guests in because it's Fringe Week, so we will be right back. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Of course, it's Fringe Week.
Yeah, man.
Smack dab in the middle of it.
So my favorite part of Fringe is when everybody's kind of like, everyone's descended, and then now it's kind of cooking. It's simmering. You know what I mean?
Yep. And from a Fringe show called Bangs, Bobs, and Banter, Confessions of a Hairstylist, we've had her on last year.
Yes, and I made the mistake of not remembering that because I'm dying.
Joanna Ranelli's here. How you doing, Joanna?
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hey,
Thank
for
you
being
for coming
here. Appreciate it.
So, Joanna, we talked last year about the show. What's new in this show? Just new stories, because obviously, basically all the stories are about things that your clients have told you while you're doing their hair, right?
So, fun fact. I'm not actually a hairstylist.
Hey!
Oh, okay. Yeah. I forgot to. God damn it. Why did I just leave it open? I was like, Daniel forgot something. Now I'll show that
I'll one
fool
up him.
too.
I'm like, so what's it like being a scientist?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Joanna.
No, everybody thinks I am, and I'm going to take that special skill. It's actually based on my hairstylist. And so what's different about it, there's been some, little tweaks, mainly to the main character, Nikki. There's been some new writing that's happened there.
Do you, when you're approaching something like that, do you try not to change the character too much, or do you? Like, can you take the main character of something you've been performing and you really like and love,
right?
And then, like, you're looking at it and you say you've added to it. Can you? I don't know, put a little more clay on her to make her more complex or more broken or more lovable? Like,
you know, it's so interesting because the show's a comedy.
Yeah.
And it's easy for shows like this, I think, when you have someone stringing it together to go into this dramatic place. And that's the hardest part, is to reveal more, because this hairstylist is what weaves it together.
Sure.
And so I'm working out how much I give.
Yeah.
One of the reviews last year was that they wanted a bit more of that, or maybe a sequel. And so I'm working on that. The show's been professionally picked up in Canada. So I'm also going to lengthen it. It's an easy show. The way that it's put together, it's really easy to add more people. But the characters are made up of more than just one person.
Right.
Because my stylist was like, well, if people see this, I'm really worried that they'll be like, that's me.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, so it's inspired, and I've been going to this salon, and I've been friends with this person for 15 years. So I've taken these truths, what people think, it's inspired by true stories, and I think the parts that are true, people probably don't think those ones are true, but it is.
Yeah, it's probably the ones that are the most unbelievable, rather,
Yes.
are the ones that are the most rooted in facts.
It's interesting, the psychology behind telling your hairstylist like intimate secrets.
I do.
And like
I naturally
like,
tell John the Barber everything. He knows
yeah.
That man knows I think he knows the password for our business computer over
Like
here.
I could understand. I understand like the priest or the lawyer.
No,
or
you
it's
can't
like
trust
those
a priest or a lawyer. Untrustable people. You just listed two of the
I
worst
know.
people in the
Hey,
world.
I'm Catholic.
Yeah.
You can't.
You cannot. Priest, that's off the table.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like that. At least the lawyer there's like literally like a confidentiality agreement.
Only, no,
you know, like where they
only.
can't tell anybody.
No, only one lawyer.
You're telling your hairstylist all these personal secrets, and there's no like contract where this person's not going to tell other people. Like no one ever.
Why
said,
would they? What would give you the reason to think that Nikki would want to take her client's confidentiality and air it out?
Well, I mean, she is.
I know. And of course she is, because the client didn't say, "Hey,
that's
don't
what you do."
They just offered up this information. They didn't say, "Hey, don't
That's
tell
hilarious.
anybody." And it seems like no one, like when I talk to John the Barber too, I'm like, "Hey, let's keep this between you and I."
Yeah,
It's like,
and he tells me everything you said.
I'm just telling him.
I mean, they're holding scissors.
This guy's been dabbling in gay experiences, not even telling people. He's been doing it on the slide. He looks like he's lost a ton of weight. He's been picking himself down. He's Fire Island over here.
It's funny. Me and John just talk working out.
I know you
That's
do.
it. So
I know you
never anything
Just
personal.
be careful, because you might end up as a character in the show.
Yeah.
Just,
He
you know.
may not even know if I have wife or kids. It's just working
I
out
think
over.
I 100% with people. If artist people have, like you, an artist, like somebody who writes and like has come in contact with me, I have a feeling that I've been, my essence has been stolen because I'm so weird. Yeah, I think that's an honor to be.
Yes.
Now, do you ever have anybody that like? I mean, are they all rooted in truth, or some completely and utterly creations directly out of your imagination? Has anybody ever called you, and not to hit you with 3,000 questions,
That's
has anyone ever called you on that and been like, that is me? Or have you ever had to back something down because maybe something flew a little too close to the sun?
No, I mean, I think that I'm in the show. Like, I show up as well as Joanna in it.
Yeah.
Some people know that is a thing that happens. But no,
neat.
I mean, this is the thing. Some people look at them and think they're more of a caricature of an idea of something and a person, like a stereotype.
Right.
But they're not, actually. I've tried to root them in truth. More so, people are like, I feel like I'm that person.
Oh, right.
And all these characters, at the end of the day, make up who Nikki is. All the clients do. And the reason that I even wrote the show is because one of the big conversations that, her name is obviously not Nikki, and I had these conversations about, at the end of the day, when you're touching someone, when you're in a touchy customer service space, it's still customer service. You're still providing something. There's something that happens, not just that you tell the secrets, they're feeling that. And what happens at the end of the day when you unload on your barbers and you go home, what happens to them? What happens with all of that information, right? And
you're like, here, take all my
Yes.
trauma and
Yes.
remember it.
Yes.
Well, if I'm just being honest with you,
I think
Yeah.
you should pay me for being a therapist too.
Well,
Yes.
even-
Well,
not
they
even-
are. They
yeah,
are.
They are, but not even like therapy. Like, it's one thing to maybe bounce ideas back and forth. I mean, if you're getting workout ideas, that's certainly more pleasurable than I think what I do.
Yeah.
Which would be complain. You know what I
Right.
mean? And that's not fair. Like with this hip replacement and everything, I just sit in the chair and he's like, edging out my beard. I'm like, just complaining.
No, he told
Right.
me.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
told
Oh,
me.
I know it, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
you're right.
Daniel
that you-
complaining again.
Oh, yeah, he's such like a flatey pants. Yeah. But seriously, like, it is, like, it's sometimes, I guess, to that hair professional, it's a one-way street where you're just getting nothing but trash.
Yeah.
Or complaints
Yeah.
or sadness or trauma.
Well, and there's so much trust that's built. And actually, one of the things that my friend had said was it's actually harder for you to replace me than it is for me to replace you. Because there's a trust in in how we look and our identity and all this stuff that we share with this person, So she's like, it is easier for me to fill the chair than it will be for you to replace me. And that was a really interesting thing to say to me. I don't say that in the show,
Yeah.
but it's fueled in moments.
Yeah.
It's. I wonder if it has to do with feeling vulnerable too, because you have this person.
You're giving yourself
cutting
up to the person.
Yeah. And it's like, if you think about it, like, every time I'm sitting there, I'm like, this person could stab my neck if they
Yes.
wanted to.
I think that every time too. Every single time when he's doing my
I'm
beard,
not
I'm like,
even
what if he wanted to kill me?
And
Yeah.
my arms are under a sheet, so I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
even get up to block it. If they stab me right in the neck, just my jugular's right here.
He's got a razor on me. He's edging at my beard.
You're also trusting this person with your hair, which is important to you. It's like in how you look, and
Yeah.
it's like I trust you. And then
hair
it's like,
for every person, for every race, for every.
Yeah,
it's such a
Well, and
a
the people
big-
that
a
come
pinpoint.
in, and the people that are just like, do what you feel. I'm like, how do you like that? Do you find that is really, you can be really creative? And she's like, I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that. Do not come in with some vision board and be like, do this. I will never be able to recreate that.
Right.
yeah, I wonder if there's some sort of psycho out there that goes to their barber or hairstylist and has made up a completely like
Lied to them?
like a crazy life.
Yes.
And like
Yes.
pretends to be a different person. It's like a catfish.
Tons of
They're-
people have, because
Yeah.
what they're doing is you have
That is weird to me.
You have a captive audience. You should start doing it. You start lying to John. You have a captive audience, and then you're
what do
able
you
to weave any tale you want. I bet you. Man, you just hit on something that if we did one of those post-secret
What do you
books
get out of
where,
that?
where people write the secrets down, they send them away, and we
Yeah.
never know who did it. But I bet you people would admit to doing, tons of people would admit to doing that. I bet you 40% of people that use barbers and hairstylists lie to them.
Yeah, well, you're
Maybe
filling
even
this
higher.
time, right? Like
Yeah.
you're filling.
And you
it's
want to be
so-
loved. You want to.
Yeah.
I would, if you were my stylist, I would want to impress you.
Right?
If you're Nikki, I'm like, I don't want her to hate me.
Right.
I want you to enjoy cutting my hair, so I may tell you that I have an elephant in my basement, or that my
Right.
grandmother was a guitarist. One of the first female heavy metal guitarists of all time.
Right.
I just lie
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
blatant lies.
It is interesting the things that has been shared with her. Lots of affairs. Lots
Oh,
of
yeah.
confessional affairs or some pretty wild things that I haven't put in the show yet.
I've never cheated on
Some
my
of them.
wife, but I have discussed wanting to cheat with my on my wife with John the barber.
Well, there's a
That's not true.
I know. I was like,
That's not- I don't
well,
know.
do you want to unpack that?
No, I've not-
a little
no,
bit
I
here?
haven't done
I'm
that.
just going to get a pen.
Yeah, but it's like, well, that's what's weird to me. If it's like lying to your hairstylist doesn't seem like it has any sort of value to then, but dumping the truth or like getting things off your chest to your hairstylist is a value, and the fact that that's what therapy's for, and that's why people pay therapists
Yeah.
to do that. You know what I'm saying? So you're just like, oh, I'll get 2 for 1 hairstylist, and I'll dump my affair on this person.
Yeah.
And it's like you almost getting like a value 2 for 1 therapy hairstylist. It really is unfair to the
But you're in
hairstylist.
public. That's the difference too. Like you're in public, whether or not there's other people around you getting
Yeah,
their
yeah.
hair done, or windows of people walking by. Like there's people witnessing this too, and you're staring at yourself the whole time.
It's weird.
It is weird. You
It's
know
a very interesting relationship that is way more intimate than we actually think.
Yeah,
Like,
and there's a lot of ceremony to it too.
Yeah.
I
You
wonder.
know?
I wonder if you took a hairstylist away in our society as a job, hairstylist, barber, right?
Yeah.
And like, let's say you were able.
When you want to put like a Boston Dynamics robot,
No,
kind of a vibe
well,
on it.
not even that. But let's say you got a haircut and you're able to take a pill to stop your hair from growing. So you just froze your hair in time.
Jim
right?
Colbert takes that. Our friend
I think that's called a wig, but yeah. Continue.
But you're
Yeah, our friend Jim Colbert takes pills to make his hair fall out.
I wonder how much, like, if it would cause a mental or a mental health crisis in the United States. Because
We already have one, brother.
No, but
COVID.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that did happen.
yeah.
And she was secretly going to people's homes and doing their hair.
Yeah.
Oh my
Right?
God,
Like-
that's a Nancy Pelosi. You're not supposed to do that.
Because
Yeah,
you
'cause she-
yeah.
Got to break the rules,
It's the
man.
identity. Our identity is wrapped up in this.
Because
Yeah.
so many people don't go to normal therapy, so this is probably a lot of people's only therapy is their hairstylist or barber. And if you took that away from them, they're like, I feel like mental health would suffer, and lots of people would not getting that out because there is
And
obviously.
I think you could roll the
science
stereotype.
behind therapy.
I think you can roll the stereotype dice on this one and say that ladies would suffer most on this. I think we can, because there are a lot of stylists out there. Not all guys are going to sit there and open up to their barbers. I understand.
I don't talk to my barber about
I know
anything.
you don't. I do,
serious.
Yeah.
but I'm a chirper. You
I
know,
mean,
like I chirp
yeah,
crazy.
I think more than we think happens. But there's just so much that they have to take on, and it's a revolving door, one after another.
Right.
And she's like, and I'm reminded that I still have to provide this service to you, and so that's what's interesting. And if you're not happy, then it just makes my job so much harder.
You ever had a haircut you hated?
Yeah.
Have you ever had a haircut you hated?
Of course, I spent my entire life before John the Barber.
I know you did.
But I would never tell them. I'd be like, "Thank you."
Yeah.
Talk about that for a second.
I would have
Because
a
I've
muffalata.
done that too.
But they also are cutting your hair on how they're feeling.
Yeah.
Like how they can't remove who they are. And sometimes I'm like, that looks different than last time. Are you going through anything that I should know about?
Oh, yeah, no, I just say thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And then I go back and they say, do you want the haircut I gave you last time? But yes, sir. And then
I'm so
do
afraid.
it again. And then they give me the
The
same
beauty
thing.
of Tom is that and we've been going to John. I've been going to John for let's say like 10 years, and you've been going let's say 8. Okay.
Yeah.
And the beauty of you is that there is a play here where you go. And John shaves you bald, and you don't say a goddamn
No,
word.
I'll never say nothing.
And he just
I'll go back.
He just be like, "Thank you, looks better than ever."
I'll give him same tip.
Give a big tip. Get in his car, just drive away because he's not gonna have that uncomfortable talk. He's not gonna do it. It'll just grow out.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I mean, even to my stylist, who's my friend, I'm like, did we change the formula?
Yeah.
Like I've had to be like that person.
That's a hard thing to say. I think that what you've done, and in the chat room I'm seeing it too, you've kind of opened our eyes, and that's what the show's about, guys.
Yeah.
And you can get your tickets. And again, I will
Scarlet
reiterate,
Venue.
Scarlet Venue, and it's Bangs, Bobs, and Banter, Confessions of a Hairstylist, and it's selling out crazy. I don't know. Brian says there's more selling. Well, just get your tickets now because it's
it won an award last year, so I premiered it right out the gate. And I was like, I don't know. And there's this part of me that was like, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready because I'm a trained actor and I have this level that I want to put out there.
Sure.
And anyways, it went out. And then first night, I think I won the award from that, which is wild for like this Orlando set the stage for me to keep going. I left here and sold out and did other things. And, I'm so glad to be back. I'm so glad to be back here.
Certainly glad to have you. Going along with more hair stuff, my daughter, I didn't realize this, when she got just that much hair, like about a half an inch trimmed off of the bottom of her hair, burst into tears.
Right.
Yeah, that's a big
Can't
deal.
you see? Can't you see?
Yeah,
And
it
you're
starts
like,
at like 8, 9, right? Like,
Yes.
Think of how like this is literally woven into the fabric of who we all are,
Yes.
Even you, it's funny that there's a whole story about how long it took you to find the right hair guy because you have great hair. You really do have awesome
Yeah,
hair.
you do.
Like thick, beautiful hair, and he had the dumbest haircut. And I can say that because it was. There's a picture in the bathroom I'll show you. And he had the dumbest hair. He had the hair like a dickhead. I can say that. And it was the worst hair. And then you get it cut, and it's like, oh, look at this handsome guy. You know, like look at how good his hair is.
Now you would think that I would be the type of person that would just prefer to sit there in silence because you do have that option. In fact, John the Barber has told me before, back when we first met.
I've told him before. If I'm in a bad mood, I'll be like, hey, don't talk.
He's like, feel free, and if you don't want to talk, I'll cut your hair.
He'll just bang it out.
Do whatever.
Yeah, like, bang it out fast.
Yeah, and
that's what he says.
I'm taking that from
here. He won't tell me that. He'll be like, do you want me just to bang this out? Because I know your hip's hurting you or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, just bang it out.
I didn't know he doesn't care. But in my past experience with anybody cutting my hair, I've never had the balls to sit there in silence. Because any sort of silence, I'm like, oh my God, this is becoming awkward. I have to say something.
Right.
Yes.
I have to just start talking about whatever small talk. But then I'm like, I wonder if this person just wants to cut my hair in silence and doesn't want to hear my stupid small talk. And then I'm like, I'm gonna tell him about my wife.
The chat room's telling me a lot of places will allow you, and these are ladies saying this, that you can request a silent service if you don't feel like talking.
Yeah, it's awkward.
What if you just had to click a box? Could you click a box?
No, because then
this person would see it, they'd be like, "Who the hell does this mother effer think
I
he
think
is?"
silence is really hard, though. We just feel it. That's why I think we unload, because we're like, like even a massage room, like, oh, I just don't want to talk in this, and then I end up saying all the things.
Yeah.
I'm like, what just happened?
Yeah, it's weird in a massage too, because then you're like, you have your clothes off.
Yes.
And you're talking through a pillow.
I don't like talking through the hole. I feel like I'm screaming into someone's beehole. And I'm like, I don't like that. I hate this hole.
And then I'm like, I need to see what someone's doing while I'm talking to them. I can't be talking through a hole.
And what part of my body are
you
looking at? Because my ass is lumpy, and I don't want you looking at that. Are you looking at my lower back? It's very nice.
And then, are you making sarcastic faces? I can't see. I need to see your face.
Are you taking the finger and going through the hole? Are you doing tongue noise? What are you doing?
Rolling your eyes.
Yeah.
Are you looking at my disgusting?
Are you using a grease pencil to draw on me like Howard Stern used to in the 90s?
So
you're drawing on my cellulite back there, aren't you? I have my legs. Holy smokes, they are bad. And my varicose, do you have any varicose? My legs are all varicose.
But here's the thing, I could maybe on the back of my legs, but I don't look back. That's a very dangerous
look at
thing.
That. Never look back.
No, I did that once in a mirror, and I will never do that again. That's insane.
That's hilarious.
That is insane.
I never look at my back.
No, we just go forward. Forget
hilarious.
about it. Gravity, don't even know.
Yeah. I'm fine with never looking in a mirror again because I like to preserve my, what
thoughts I had.
What I think I used to look like, and then just never know.
Yeah, I just put up a headshot in front of me, right, when I'm at the salon, so I can just look at earlier days.
That's what I looked like. Yeah, there's a good representation of me.
Well, Joanna, thanks so much for coming in again.
Thanks for having me.
It's Bangs, Bobs, and Banter, Confessions of a Hairstylist. It's at the Scarlet Venue. You are going to have a button, so get your button, but I would get your tickets like rapidly fast. Go online and get them.
Yep.
And because it will sell out.
OrlandoFringe.org.
Yes, sir.
And we will be right back.
Thank you.